It's very, very hard to stop during this track. Of course, this is Hopeful Dynamis from Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. And I just want to talk a little bit about the hope behind this music without diving too much into lore. This is a build-up, right? We understand that Medion has suffered so much. And I think that in this moment, when we finally talk to her, there's this return to purity and this return to innocence that comes through. And we need to remember that, like, Medion is essentially a child. Ultimately, Medion just wanted love. And you hear this in the music, this incredible tenderness. And I want to re-listen to this again and break down a little bit, step by step, why it is that we feel the way we feel when things play. That is so beautiful. So this is in the upper register of the piano, which inherently gives us this feeling of purity, gives us this feeling of lightness. It gives us this feeling of gentility, youthful and childlike. In the left hand, we have essentially what is considered an ostinato, which is essentially like an arpeggiation, which is spreading a chord out instead of playing the notes simultaneously. What's fascinating to me, the melody actually is ba 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 ba. It's childlike. It's exactly the sense of purity. There's a quality to this that is so incredibly gentle. Now let's keep going. So that's genius, right? We repeat the pattern a few times, and then we move into this supported, long, bowed orchestration with full orchestra. Yo, 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 which takes that melody that's still playing underneath, boosts it a little bit emotionally. And there's just something about these strings that come in that is incredibly emotional and stunning. It doubles down on this idea of purity, of hope, a gentle little creature that you just want to like naturally, inherently take care of. And that comes through in a very obvious way to me. There's just something about the way that these strings pull like that it just tugs at your heart and you think, oh, my sweet dear child. And then we ascend up. I mean, absolute chills, right? And of course, that's flow. And we know it's flow because we've heard flow about 1,000,000 times before this in the piano. In the orchestration, there's something so delicate about this that really, I think the reason why it hits us so hard is, of course, the context. But I think that there's this real purity in this music that it's impossible to not see and to not feel. I think it helps, of course, that there's the horns and there's this real feeling of effervescent lifting up as we like are sort of ascending into the clouds, and there's this such an emotionally deep and profound moment because it's sparse, but it's complex. And I think that's what makes this so touching. I just want to go back really quickly. I think one of the things that really propels this forward is the drums. Certainly the drums give us this feeling of like determination and focus, a real arrival at a change. Then on top of that, you also have this like choir that's just a little bit in the background, which creates this feeling of like humanity. Flow is just such a masterfully written song that I think defies video game scores. I think Flow is one of those tracks that could be on the radio. I think it would move people who aren't familiar with video games at all. I think it would move them to tears. And there's something so distinct about that melody that certainly in context it's incredibly powerful, but out of context it still is one of the most lovingly tender pieces of music. So to hear it in this sort of climactic version, there is this incredible feeling of love and lightness that comes through, even though it's a very large orchestral moment where we have this sort of climax. It's incredibly powerful. Let's just listen to one more pass. That is just so profound. I think it highlights so many things, but especially to me, it's like the meaning of life and like what is the purpose of all of this. And it leaves a lot of questions about like, what are we fighting for? Why do we get up every day? Why are we going to work and going to school? And where are we really coming from? And hopefully we're coming from a place of love and a place of appreciating our neighbor. And I don't know, there's something really warmly affectionate about this song that just fills my heart with gladness and with admiration for people. I don't know, there's something really beautiful about this, and I think it touches on the idea of Dynamis and the emotions and all that other stuff, but beyond that, I just think it's one of the most sublime songs in Final Fantasy XIV, in the entirety of Final Fantasy XIV, but certainly in Endwalker, it's certainly one of my favorite pieces. If you like Final Fantasy content, there's a lot more on the channel. Feel free to like, subscribe, check out the links in the About section if you want to support the channel, and as always, thanks a ton, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.